Essentialist approach. Objectives. Understand essentialist approach. Define the causes of gender equality. Give ways in which equality might reduce. Reflect the socio-political and historical climate in which they were created. According to Howard and Hollander, the essentialist approach to gender was the most prevalent among social psychologists and other social scientists in the first half of 90s. Essentialists assert that innate and fixed differences between the two sexes shape gendered behavior. Essentialism is the idea that the differences observed between males and females are biologically determined, hence part of human nature. Bohr, 1998. Essentialist account of gender focus on hormonal, genetic, and evolutionary factors to explain the differences between the sexes in psychological and social phenomena. It means the essentialist approach to gender explains the differences between the sexes by emphasizing biological factors like hormones and genetics, as well as evolutionary history. It suggests that these factors play a primary role in shaping psychological and social distinction between men and women. This viewpoint can oversimplify the complex interplay between biology and culture in understanding gender differences.
Essentialist approaches have been heavily critiqued for being reductionist and deterministic, reducing social behaviors to psychological characteristics that are in turn reduced to biological causes. Burr, 1998. A major criticism of purely biological account is now they serve as an explanation. It's only natural and justification. They can't help it for the current status and power of men over women. Briscade 1993. For instance, male domination and violence against women is considered as emerging from the male traits of dominance and aggressiveness that are then believed to be biologically rooted. Essentially, ideas simply things by saying they are just because of biology. This can wrongly justify male dominance and violence against women by claiming it's men nature to be dominant and aggressive. I will provide a clear example about an essentialist viewpoint in our organization. An essentialist viewpoint that women are naturally less assertive might lead to a biased belief that men should always be the leaders in an organization, which can perpetuate gender inequality in the workplace.
Causes of gender inequality. The essential approach assumes that men biologically inclined towards dominance, aggression, and leadership roles. It means these beliefs perpetuate the unequal distribution of power between men and women, as a men are seen as natural more capable and entitled to leadership position. Consequently, women are often excluded from decision-making processes and positions of authority, leading to limited representation and furthering gender inequality. Number two, the essentialist perspective ignores the complex way to which society shape gender roles and expectations. It fails to acknowledge that societal norms and cultural practices play a significant role in determining gender roles and their associated inequalities by attributing gender inequality solely to biologically factors. The essentialist approach overlooks the impact of socialization and cultural conditioning, which influence individuals' perception of what is appropriate behavior for their gender. Number three, the essentialist approach asserts that gender roles are fixed and unchanging. It means is this belief ignores the progress made in challenging traditional gender norms and rules, as well as the evolving understanding of gender as social construct by discounting the possibility of change. The essentialist approach perpetuates that status and abstract efforts to achieve gender equality.
Causes of gender inequality. The, the essentialist approach assumes a binary understanding of gender, reinforcing the idea that there are only two distinct categories, male and female, and that individual must adhere to one or the other. Explanation. This exclusionary binary view denies the experiences of individuals who do not fit within these traditional categories, such as transgender and non-binary individuals. Consequently, it further marginalizes these individuals and perpetuates inequality based on gender identity. Number 5. The essentialist approach to gender inequality rests on the idea that innate biological difference between men and women lead to distinct rules in society. Explanation. Essentialists argue that women are naturally suited to caregiving and domestic roles due to their biological ability to give birth and breastfeed, respectively limit women's opportunities and reinforces traditional gender roles by placing them in a more subordinate position, thereby exacerbating gender inequality. Number 6, the essential approach disregards the intersectionality of gender inequality. Explanation. It fails to account for how gender intersect with other forms of discrimination, such as race, class, and sexuality. This oversight overlook and unique experiences of individuals who face multiple forms of discrimination and hinders efforts to address these intersecting inequalities.
Ways. Education plays a crucial role in combating gender inequality, providing equal opportunities for boys and girls to receive quality education can help break down societal barriers and empower women. By promoting gender-sensitive curriculum and eliminating biases in textbook, children can be educated about gender equality from a young age, fostering a more inclusive mindset. Empowering women economically is essential in reducing gender inequality. Enacting policies that ensure equal pay for equal work, promoting women's entrepreneurship, and providing access to financial resources can help women achieve financial independence. This empowerment can lead to greater decision-making power and control over their own lives, reducing their vulnerability to discrimination and violence. Promoting female representation in positions of power and leadership is another crucial step in reducing gender inequality. Addressing the representation of women in politics, corporate boards, and other positions of influence is essential for bringing diverse perspective to decision-making process. Encouraging and supporting women to run for political office and increasing their representation in leadership positions are effective ways to challenge structural gender biases.
Addressing gender-based violence is also critical in reducing gender inequality. Governments should enact and enforce strict laws against gender-based violence and provide support to survivors. Educating communities on the importance of consent, promoting healthy relationships, and challenging harmful gender stereotypes can also stem the tide of violence against women. 5. Fostering a culture of respect and inclusivity is crucial in reducing gender inequality. This involves promoting a safe and supportive environment for individuals of all genders, where their voices are valued and their rights are protected. This can be achieved through awareness campaigns, bystanders intervention programs, and promoting consent education. 6. Challenging harmful gender stereotypes and norms. Breaking away from traditional gender roles that confine women to domestic tasks and limit their opportunities can help create a more equal society. Public campaigns, awareness programs, and media representation that challenge these stereotypes can contribute to changing societal perceptions and expectations of gender roles.
Let's talk about how the essential approach to gender reflects the sociopolitical and historical climate. Back in the day, Society was all about categorizing and assigning roles based on biological differences between men and women. This approach emphasized that specific characteristics, behaviors, and roles were inherently tied to one sex. It was like a one-size-fits-all mentally, where there was little room for individuality or recognition of diversity within genders. This rigid perspective mirrored the conservative values prevalent in many societies, which aimed to maintain traditional gender norms and power structures. Additionally, it conveniently justified the unequal treatment of women by portraying them as fundamentally different from men in terms of their capabilities and worth. However, as we have progressed as a society, we now understand that gender is much more complex than a binary construct. Our understanding has evolved to acknowledge that gender is a social construct influenced by culture, experience, and personal identity. We recognize that individuals can identify outside traditional gender norms and express themselves authentically. Overall, this shift represents our ongoing journey towards equality and exclusivity for everyone regardless of their gender identity or expression.
These are all the members. Thanks for watching.